Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. A long time no see, I know. My name is Tash, for those of you who are new here. For those of you who have stuck with me and subscribed, then I'm really sorry I've been a bit AWOL. Basically, my mental and physical health just haven't been great these last few months, if I'm honest. But I'm back with a new video, and today I want to be featuring two new palettes, or newish palettes. They came out very recently, and that is the Cosmic Brushes palettes. So Cosmic Brushes or Cosmic Beauty, I'm not quite sure at the moment and what they go by, but this is the Nudetrals, and then we have the Cooltrals. Let's concentrate on the Nudetrals first. Really nice kind of soft matte outer packaging feel. So it comes with a really nice full-sized mirror, and then these are the shades that you are getting in the Nudetrals palette. So you get 20 shades, you get 12 mattes, 8 metallics, 2 multichromes, which are Radiant and Desire, and 1 duochrome. This Cosmic Brushes take on a neutral palette with a twist, and I think they've done a really good job. You've not only got your kind of redder tones in there, you've got mustard tones, your browns, and your olives as well. Personally, I think they've done a really good job with this. I haven't bought a neutral palette for a long time. I've got so many I don't need any more. This is the first one that piqued my interest, and it made me feel like I could maybe declutter an older palette, to be honest, and replace it with this, because I feel like this is so much more fun than some of the older palettes that I own. So as far as colour story goes, it's definitely a win for me. As I'm filming this, I haven't touched this palette at all. I haven't even swatched it. Trust me, I wanted to, but I basically wanted to kind of do a first impressions of this and the Cooltrals, which I will show you in the second look. We're going to concentrate on the neutrals for our first look. So without any further ado, let's get into an eye look. I'm really interested in this little Tetris block here. I think I'm going to concentrate on that area of the palette, and I basically wanted to create something autumnal because this palette, it feels autumnal to me. That's the feeling I'm getting from it, and also I'm a big fan of autumn. It's my favourite season, so I'm kind of like hurrying summer along. It's been a bit rubbish summer anyway, very rainy. I know everywhere else, so many other places in the world have been extremely hot, but it's not really been the case for the UK. So and also, like, side note, TK Maxx have their Halloween stuff out now, and I've already been buying stuff, so I'm totally in the mood for autumn and Halloween and all that good stuff. And this palette really reminds me of that. I just think it's going to be a great palette for the autumn season and all other seasons as well, but that's, when I opened this, that's what reminded me of it, and it gave me a lot of joy. So without further ado, let's get into this eye look. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what this is going to turn out to be because I haven't practiced it or anything, and I'm quite out of practice with eyeshadow because I haven't really been wearing any because I've been miserable. So forgive me if this look is a bit rough. So we're hoping it's not going to be. First of all, before we get into the palette, if you guys want to know what's on the rest of my face, then I will shout some bits out. I've got Luminoso by Milani on my cheeks, Kaleidos Solar Sailor highlighter, which is like a kind of yellowy goldy shift. Really beautiful. I just thought it would go really well with this palette. And then for foundation, I actually used the Misha BB Cream RX, the Perfect Cover, and this is in 17. I love the coverage of this. I love the way it looks on my skin. It just makes my skin look really beautiful and perfected. So those are just a few things, and the most important thing I wanted to talk about was this lipstick. This is one of the Velvet lipsticks by Lisa Eldridge. I'm not sure if that's its official names, but it's one from the Velvet line, and this is in the colour Velvet Cinnabar. And this is what it looks like, as you can see. It's on my lips, and I really love this lipstick. I have tried this before. I tried it a couple of days ago, and it lasted hours with a lip liner. I'm going to come on to the lip liner next. It lasted me about 3 or 4 hours before having to reapply, so it stays on really well. And it's so comfortable for a matte lipstick. It's like a matte lipstick with a slight sheen to it, so it's not completely matte. It is not uncomfortable at all. It doesn't tug or anything like that. It's one of the most comfortable matte formulas that I have tried. Well done, Lisa Eldridge. I mean, she knows what she's talking about, so I wasn't worrying. Anyway, the lip liner that I've paired this with is Love Bug by Colourpop, and I will show you a swatch of both. I feel like this lip liner goes so well with this lipstick. If anything, the lipstick slightly got a bit more red in it. So you got the lipstick here and the lip liner here, and look how similar they are. Just trying to pair a lip liner with it, and I found that, and I thought I'd share that with you. If you want a good pairing, I definitely recommend Love Bug and Velvet Cinnabar by Lisa Eldridge. Again, Love Bug is by Colourpop. Anyway, without further messing around, I am going to grab my brushes and I'm going to start creating an eye look. The brushes I've been into are the Singe Beauty brushes by Angelica Nyqvist, and I hope I said that okay. I was worried about butchering her name, but I love these brushes. I've been using them for a while now. I got them for my birthday, and I haven't gone back to any of my other brushes. I've just been using the 7-piece set for my entire eye look. So that's what we're going to be using today. And the first one I'm using is the EO2. I'm going to dip into Classy. We're just going to place Classy on the outer corner. That's going to be my deeper matte shade. I might deepen it up a little bit more with something else, but that's where I'm going for now. You only need to lightly tap your brush in this shade. It is very pigmented. I'm not noticing any fallout, but I am tapping my brush as I go along, patting it on. And the one thing I've noticed about these Singe Beauty brushes is that as you do that, they're tapered in such a way that as you pat here, you are kind of already blending up here slightly, so it just helps with the blending process. So we're just patting the colour on to get maximum intensity, and then I'm just going to start to blend the edges with that very same brush. Then I'm going to go into the shade Bear with an EO4. I'm just going to blend that out a little more. I'm just going to take that and blend along the edges just to soften that line a little bit. Something a bit like that. So far these two shades have blended out beautifully. I'm really happy with them, especially as I'm really out of practice. I feel like they're really easy to work with. Next up I'm going to take the same EO2 and I've just wiped it off a little bit, and I'm going to go into the shade Icon, and I'm just going to place that on the inner part of the crease here, but being careful not to go all the way into the inner corner. And that's what I find and I like about Cosmic Brushes eyeshadows, is they are very pigmented. They rarely need very much. I'm just going to blend the brown and the mustard together. How are you guys? I hope you're all doing really well and that you've had a really nice spring and summer since I've been away for that long. And let me know if you've got this palette in the comments and what you think. So far I'm really impressed, but I'm not surprised because I've got every palette that Cosmic Brushes has released. I've got every palette that Cosmic Brushes has released and I love them all. And I feel like these are going to be no exception. The next thing I want to do is go into these shimmers here. So I want to go into this multichrome called Desire, this shade here called Glitz. So using a setting spray, this is one I haven't used before, but this is the Benefit Professional Super Setter setting spray. I haven't actually used it as a setting spray. I'm going to be using it in a try on video, but just to spray my brush. I'm sure it's going to be fine. But this is just going to help with fallout and intensify that colour as well. I'm just going to place that right in the middle here. I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but that is really, really cool. Hopefully you'll see in the swatch how it shifts. Looking really cool on the eye. I do feel like I want to deepen up that outer corner a little bit though. Next shade I'm going into is Glitz, and again I've wet my brush and I'm just going to cover the rest of my lid in that shade. I know I am going quite really neutral. I'm not really going neutral with a twist right now. I am thinking of putting some olive green under the eye though. I'm just trying to make sure these shades blend seamlessly. I do want to deepen up that outer corner. I'm going back to my EO2 and we're going to take the shade Delicate here. Super deep dark brown. A little bit of that, tap it off and just deepen up that outer corner a little bit. Just because I feel on all that blending as well I've lost a little bit of depth, and also that multichrome, when it shifts a certain way it looks exactly the same as the outer corner. I just want a bit of a deeper outer corner. Okay, so focusing on the lower lash line, I'm just going to take this dark matte called Tease here. I'm taking an EO1 and I'm just going to place that under my lower lash line. I'm going to place it quite low on my lower lash line and just make sure it joins up with the rest of the shadow. And then I'm going to take the Luxe here, which is a duochrome, and I'm going to place that right on top. And I'm going to take a big fluffy brush such as the EO3 from Singe. These are all from Singe, I don't know why I said that. I'm going to go into the shade Radiant and I'm going to use that on my inner corner. This has like a pink to a green to like a yellow shift. So I just thought it might join everything up really nicely. Stunning. It almost looks fiery. I love that. That's like my favourite shade so far. I'm also just going to take that colour and run it up into that mustard shade, just so we get like a little fiery element in the inner corner. Eyeliner, I'm going to use Colourpop's Hit the Jackpot. And I just think this is going to tie in with those bottom shadows really nicely. I'm going to add some mascara and I'll come back and talk to you guys a bit more about the palette. Okay guys, so this is the finished look using the Nudetrals palette. I'm really happy with it so far. Okay, so I haven't used the whole palette. I can't tell you that every single shade is amazing, but I will try and give you guys an update at the end of the month. I'm trying to be more consistent with my videos. I know this is the first one since I've been gone, but I will give you an update on what I think of this once I've used most of the colours. They're pigmented, they burn like a dream, and the multi-chromes are beautiful. And I do think I'll be using this all year round. I do also think I'm going to be using this a lot in the autumn time. This is the first neutral palette. I know it's got a twist with it that I've been really interested in. Like I said earlier, it makes me want to just chuck some of my boring neutral palettes out because this is everything to me. Next, we'll be moving on to the Cooltrals. Okay, so before we move on to the Cooltrals palette, I just wanted to let you guys know again what is mostly on my face. So I've got the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, which is one of my all-time favourites. I've been wearing it for years now. Blush, I just have the Blusher Reloaded by Revolution, and this is in Violet Love. It's just a nice cool toned pinky lilac blush. And then for highlight, I've got another Kaleidos highlight, and this is in Moon Cruiser, which is like a blue to purple shift. For my lips, I've just used an unused eyeliner to line my lips, and this is in the shade, this is a Colourpop one, in the shade Swerve. And then on my lips, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the shift in this lighting, but this is a multi-chrome gloss by Glisten Cosmetics. It's the chrome gloss in Atlas. So moving on to the Cooltrals palette, this is what the packaging looks like. So again, you've got that really nice soft matte cardboard feel, nice big mirror, and then you have your shades inside. As you can see, this is not a neutral palette by any means, but it is cool toned, so I think that's what they were going for. So kind of a few neutrals scattered here and there, but with other cool toned shades as well. Again, this is a 20 shade palette which consists of 12 mattes, 8 metallics, 1 foiled multichrome which is Gratitude, a duochrome called Tempting, and then an iridescent. I'm not actually sure what I'm going to do with this palette, so we're just gonna kind of guess. I think I'm going to take this shade here called Midnight, and on my EO2 from Singe. And again, I'm just doing that patting motion so we get like the most intensity before we blend. As per usual with cosmic brushes, this is another very pigmented shade, so a little bit goes a very long way. Now we've laid that shade down, we're going to go into Crave to blend out the edges. And I'm using this on a clean EO5. So you can't really see the colour, but it is blending that deep blue out really nicely. I feel like if you want to see the colour of this shade, then you probably need to pack it on a little bit more. You can't really see any of that lavender shade, maybe a tiny bit, but really I've used it just to really buff out that deep navy shade. So I think I want to put some of that Midnight shade on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take an EO1 and we're just going to put this about halfway across. Okay, so I'm not sure where the camera stopped there, but my SD card got full and I didn't notice. So what I've done was I used the shade Midnight on my outer corner, and then I blended it with this shade called Crave. This like really nice lavendery shade. And I'm just doing the same on the lower lash line. Just to soften that line a little bit. And I think I want to wet my brush. This is the EO7. And I'm going to go into the shade called Affinity right here. It's a really nice colour. It's almost like a deep denim blue. And I'm just going to place that in the centre of my eye. Just slightly overlapping the other blue. Okay, that is so pretty. And then I'm just going to do my little zigzaggy brush movement thing. Yes, that's the formal term for it. I'm just going to wipe off that same brush and I'm going to go in with the shade Secret. And again, I'm making sure to take this up to my crease and then just blend it in with that denim shade. I'm not sure whether to go into Moonlight or Reveal. I think I'm going to go into Moonlight, that silver shade. I'm just going to take a little bit more of Secret, that purple shade, because I feel like I covered this side with quite a bit of that silver. And I'm just going to repeat the same on the lower lash line, so going into that blue shade. Right on the inner corner, I'm just going to finish with Moonlight. This turned out to be a really dramatic look, but I don't hate it. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line my eyes, and this is one of the multi-chrome creme gel liners from Colourpop. This is in the shade Power Trip. Okay, so I've just added mascara and eyeliner to complete the look, and that is my finished look using the Cooltrals palette. Overall, I think this palette is a really good formula. It's a really, really nice palette to work with. It's pigmented, it's blendable, blah, 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 all that good stuff. I'd say the only shade I would like to be a bit more intense was this one called Crave, but I do find it to be a really good blending shade to blend out those really dark shadows, but it does swatch very lightly as well, so I feel like that would have been good if it was a bit more pigmented, because I think that shade would be beautiful. I mean, you could pat it on, but I feel like you'd have to build it up quite a bit. As for which one of these is my favourite, I can't really tell you because I feel like they're both so different. So I really enjoyed playing with this one yesterday. I love the look I created. It's just like very autumnal leafy effect. And I really love the look I created with this one. So like I said earlier, I'm going to keep playing with these palettes and playing with more of the colours and shades and kind of getting used to the formula. So that concludes my video for this week. I hope you found it helpful in some way, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And for those of you who have stuck with me, thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you in my next one.